Hello, everybody. Good morning from Australia and welcome to my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobbie Richardson and I will be your guide for today. So today we're going to be chatting about channelings that is coming through about Gobekli Tepe and other artifacts, other ancient artifacts that I've been channeling messages about. So a friend or somebody in the chat bar actually asked me to do some more channeling on Gobekli Tepe, and I wasn't going to, but then I saw a very logical documentary on it and the findings, just a logical one. That's pretty much all we can find on the internet these days anyway, is the logical side of things. They found this, they didn't find that, it must mean this, but it's all very logically based. And then all this information started to pour through me. So I started to write it down and I thought, well, I put it up on my website yesterday, but I thought, why not do an actual talk about this? Because there's so much more to these ancient artifacts and ancient sites, memorials and so forth, than what we know. Or what we could even sometimes comprehend. And I'm sure it goes even beyond what my brain can comprehend. But I can tell you, stretch your mind a little bit further into how it was. I mean, we're talking generations, many, many thousands of years ago. So humanity's gone through all these cycles of civilizations growing and falling and growing and falling. And it's meant to be part of the evolution. That is the cycle of life. That is how a tree a tree grows and then the leaves fall and then it nurtures itself with the leaves, debris and so forth. And then the apples appear again and then they fall. And then, it's all cycles. And same with our bodies and everything. So we have to kind of come at it from a completely different point of view. So I'm going to read out some of what I wrote and I will chat about it. And then I'm going to go on to some other artifacts if we have time. If we don't, we might do part two because there's a lot of information that sometimes comes through me. And if the Pleiadians want to step in and start channeling even more messages, I'm not going to stop them. So we'll see where this all ends up going. But it's pretty exciting stuff just to get your minds into a different way of thinking. So I've got the chat bar open. Hey, Vanda, Cheryl, Sky, Horse Haven. Good to see you guys. Right. Just going to organize myself a bit because I have, I can share with you what I wrote. Let's see where this one goes. Maybe. I thought I had it all sorted. Or maybe I didn't. Okay, we'll just read it out. That's okay. But I do have some other things I want to share with you. Hang on, let me just sort through this. Actually, I will see if I can get that back up again. Sorry, guys. I'll just go into my website because it's just easier this way to share. It's got some pictures and stuff. Okay, here we go. Well, that's lucky. Went straight into it. Okay, so I will share that then. But not have that one. Sorry, guys, it's a bit of organizing here. That's better. So you should be able to see it now. Gobekli Tepe, the Pleiadian's message. Yeah, so this happened on the 13th of June. It took me a few days to sort out what I was actually going to do with this message. And I'm going to read it off my phone because it's a bit too far away from my eyes. First up, we have to shift our way of thinking when it comes to those that lived within the parameters of the Gobekli Tepe so many generations ago, as all were not living in physical form as humans do now. Their reality was also etheric in nature, as their connection to their energy bodies was as real to them as the physical. So now we take a look at the site of Gobekli Tepe from that point of view, and a new story emerges. This mysterious place, which is older than one knows now, existed at a time when those from other planets visited Earth and brought with them animals to integrate and keep safe on Earth. And the humans existing then were seen as caretakers of these animals. And so through their acceptance and Earth's acceptance, the animals could thrive. So yeah, it's a totally different kind of concept to if a dig is made and then they see, oh, there's no fire pits and there's no tools and there's no this, and oh, but we found this over here, it must be, and they put it all into a logical sense of how we're living now. But that's not how it all was, because when you're connected to an etheric connection and understanding of higher frequencies, different dimensional places, planets, different beings, all sorts of things, you have a whole other concept. You're also connected to Mother Earth in a different way. So when you're connected to Mother Earth in a different way, she has this collaboration with her creations. And so her creations being the humans or anyone that she allows on this planet, like if something lands on this planet, she allowed that energy to come in some form or another. And so that, because there has to be a resonance of that meetup of their energy alignment with hers for it to be, here, whether it's for a lesson or just the same as us and what we allow into our frequency in our lives as well. You have to kind of see it from the point of view where Mother Earth is an actual being. And so you can communicate with her and all of that sort of stuff. The actual site doesn't hold evidence of domestic living arrangements, no fire pits, nor living quarters as we know of them now. But the outer surroundings do, and as they were homes to many different dwellers, but those that were guardians to the actual site were more etherical and than physical. So, so there was this whole etheric thing that was happening with those that actually lived or were guardians of that actual space. Now, because I'll carry on, and if I get any messages coming through, I'll see if I can wait till a little bit towards the end, because I think it's all going to come up anyway. I've read it a couple of times, that's all. Therefore, to connect the animals, okay, hang on. Yeah, so therefore, to connect the animals' physical form, they had to keep their frequency alive. So, sorry, I probably should have written that a little bit different, because I did change a couple of things last night and I just realized that's probably wrong. But the animal's physical form, they had to keep that when they brought the animals through from their planets, they had to keep that frequency alive here for Mother Earth. And so there was this collaboration that happened with Mother Earth where the actual site, there was monuments of the animals, and so that the frequency would hold for Mother Earth to allow those animals to be here. And so that's what I was taught. So therefore, to connect the animal's physical form, they had to keep their frequency alive. So monuments of earthly materials were created as holding bearers for the frequency of the animals. And it's so weird when I wrote that, I'm like, bearers, what does that even mean? And I looked it up and it made total sense with that alignment with the message that I was getting through, because the bearers are the actual like statues of the carved out animals because Earth had to accept the arrival. And so it was like, it's interesting what they're showing me, because they're showing me that Earth herself carved that, had those animals appear on some of the tablets, and some of them were actually carved. There was a collaboration that happened, depending on the energy alignment of whether, I don't know the full scope, and I don't want to like pretend that I do know, but I'm getting two stories here. I'm getting a story of the carvings actually appeared in the monuments, because they're giving me this alignment of understanding where, when I was with the Cherokee elder, she had a slab that had this carved out writing that appeared in lines going up. And this is a massive slab of granite, like we're talking here, like up to my chest size kind of thing, or waist size anyway. And when they went in and did a meditation in a dome that was completely dark, and she was asked to do this meditation with the stone slab in there, and they dragged it in there. And when they dragged it back out, it had 4 or 5 more lines of writing carved into it. There's this magic that goes beyond what humans can comprehend now. And I'm trying to say it in a way that's logically attuned to us, but I can't. So I can only say that it's kind of like a magical thing that appeared, because Earth herself wanted those animals, that it was like the invitation. It's like the letter that says, yeah, I invite them, the frequency alignment. And so here's the monument. And so then they're like, okay, well, that's going to hold frequency for that animal to actually live here. And so it was like a belly button or a navel of the Earth at the time, where creations that were brought from other spaces, other planets, and that were either accepted or not accepted, or creations that were that were also interbred or bred here as well. There had to be sort of an understanding that Earth actually accepted them, because she had, anyway, I'll carry on with this channeling. So there were also what we call what the Pleiadians would call shepherds, or those who lived in the area of Gobekli Tepe and the surrounding locations. Sorry, I am dyslexic, but I'm doing the best I can. Who could energetically create greater living standards by using their will to hold and create energetic living quarters that would disperse once they left. And so now, through the discovery these days, those that dug will only see that which was brought through in actual physical form, or the stone monuments and walls. So in that area, which was caretaken by either humans that were in etheric form, or there was others as well, they would, because they could energetically create with their will a sleeping quarter, or whatever it was that they want. There was much more that was in a higher frequency. But then when humanity fell, many generations later, and we got to dig it up, there is nothing there to dig up, because it was in an energetic form, or it might still be there in that energetic form. But if it is, you would have to raise your vibration into seeing it as well. But most of it is dispersed, because energy disperses. Okay, the masculines were grounded in as physical statues, as that was the frequency of the masculine to be grounded, but the feminine was connected to all possibilities and imagining. So the monuments were etherical in nature. Therefore, not many feminine statues were to be found. So it was another message that I got, that you'd only find more likely to find masculine statues, because their understanding of reality was that the feminine, or the imaginational side of things was more an etherical world. So when they created a monument to behold the feminine creation coming in, or imagining coming in, it would be in etherical form first. And the things that they grounded was more to do with the masculine side of it around there. Anyway, also, I got a message from the statue that was found around the surroundings as well. The Earth and Man statue found in the surrounding areas are, in fact, off-world beings that had very ancient ties to Mother Earth and came to teach and observe the interactions of the shepherds or humans at the time that they were seen as keepers and protectors of the new animals being brought to and created on Earth through Gobekli Tepe portals. Yeah. As this was a collaborative effort of Earth, humanity, and off-world beings for Earth to become a library or a holding cell of many different animals and living creations. Gobekli Tepe was an entrance point for those of non-physical worlds and physical worlds to become part of Earth's nurturing physical body, and therefore life and death was accepted and appreciated as a union to this journey that the soul could take. In later years, Gobekli Tepe and Gobekli's interactions became warped as a new era was about to be birthed and grounded, so the site was covered by earth. So you'll find, there was like layers of earth over top of her, because she was like, okay, that's enough of allowing these new animals where the lockdown happened anyway. And so the lockdown would prevent anything new, imagining like anything new to really be discovered by humans anyway. Yeah. From the off-world point of view, this is really interesting what they came through here. From the off-world point of view, those residing on other planets in different dimensions who knew that Earth was going through huge evolutional leaps, and there was many of them. This is just one many years ago, many generations ago. She was one planet that could cope with much diversity and allow for the existence of the physical world to deepen, at the time becoming a bigger playground for souls to explore through many avatars or bodies, animals, and in humanoid forms. They asked for their species to be accepted on Earth because within the frequency of those creatures finding cooperation to live harmoniously in a physical world or Earth also gave them a chance for their souls to live on Earth through this greater physical world. And the journey would give them new experiences separated from source energy or prime creators. So they were setting their souls up to merge with Earth through the great evolutional leap away from the source energy at that time, but we're going back to it now, and eventually back to the source of all creation, which is happening now. And that's why it's been discovered, because it has to be discovered for us to understand that there's this connection that Mother Earth had with these etherical off-world beings, and the interaction of allowing different animals to come and stay here. For example, so their souls would go, okay, we want to have an experience that's more physical. We want to have a bigger playground, and Earth's one that can handle it. She won't accept us completely throughout the generations, but she will accept these animals that are coming from our planets. And so the animals were to stay, but we weren't to stay. But we could also, when we passed over, when we die, we could enter the animals' journey and be born as a fox or something like that. And then they have an experience on Earth. And so it's like an entry point for their soul to become more on Earth, and then eventually become a humanoid as well that's living on Earth, which means that the journey is exceeding from different planetary alignments. I hope that you understand that. Anyway, yeah, so for example, imagine that you knew a small town was going to become a huge, rich city with opportunities, and you had foresight, gave you an opportunity to settle into that town before the gold was found. You would take that opportunity, because that's what your soul desired. The same goes for these off-world beings asking for Mother Earth to take their species and give them a chance to move through the evolutional shift that could give their souls a return home or a journey that would satisfy their souls. So they go on a great adventure, being that they come more into a physical form on Earth through these animals, or their souls can. There is an interesting note here as well at the end, that in 2024, those whom hold much power and wealth at the moment, the cabal, want to keep all these secrets hidden so that humanity won't find out their power within and the truth of the history of Mother Earth and humanity. So they are stopping most of the excavation or uncovering of Gobekli Tepe by putting the money into tourism instead, and saying that they will leave the excavation for future generations. Oh my gosh. So stop sharing there. Let's put that one down. Oh, hang on. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so that's pretty full on, that message that I got through. If you want to read it, I'm going to have to go through it again. I just realized there's a few mistakes. Problem with being dyslexic, you don't pick up many mistakes, and so I have to go through them quite a few times before I do. But that's okay. It's not going to stop the message, right? Yeah, so it's really interesting, and I was really feeling into it then when I was reading that. So these off-world beings really did have this chance to be able to go into the animals first. So it's an entrance point. That Gobekli Tepe was an entrance point of creation, way back then. And it was creation from Earth's perspective of expanding. So in that cycle, she wanted to expand more. And so she trusted and allowed, but she chose from her own boundaries of understanding what she'd allow to come in and what she wouldn't allow to come in, either for lessons for herself, or for humanity, or for the animals as well. As she understood the evolutional process, and so she just opened up herself to that. This is one of the biggest reasons why humans are so amazing, because we have very diverse understandings within ourselves. We literally have two personalities within ourselves. We both have the creator, coming from the Lions Vegans side of things, and we have the consumer of the reptilian draconian brain. And so with those two matching up, we've got the full cycle within our minds. But when it's at war with each other, like we have been, or imbalanced, and then we can't evolve. So we get stuck, and that's what we call the lockdown, because we have to go through a lesson before we evolve out of it. Literally what humanity is going through, what you guys are going through, what we're all going through right now, especially those that are learning, that we're only going to keep ourselves stuck when we don't come from that love perspective, first for ourselves, then for our outer world. And so if we do this, if we say that we can keep repeating mantras and stuff, but if we don't feel that mantra within us, when we don't align with it, then it's a waste of time. It needs to be something that has to be collectively understood by both logical and intuitive thinking, by feeling, and the physical world. Yeah, so when it's understood by all, when you really feel into that, then you become it, and then you allow the experience to evolve outside of you, through knowing that it's absolute, that it's going to happen. Many of us will say, I know it's going to happen, and I have that feeling right now, and then 5 minutes later we shut it down, because we caught back into the cycle of fear and anxiousness and so forth. And so we'll keep doing that until we find stability within ourselves. But this is what cycles do, right? We have to learn to let go of one way of living to be able to introduce something new anyway. And that's literally what Gobekli Tepe was all about. Good morning, other people's in the chat bar, Emma, Nicole, Cheryl, Kelly. Oh, by the way, my master classes, I am so excited because we have quite a few people coming that have booked those master classes. So if anyone is interested, I have mind to telepathy master classes running at the moment. You can book them down below if you are interested in them. They have 4 huge, like hour-long videos, and a lot of my own high strangeness experiences that led me to understand a lot more. And as well as that, there's telepathy games, and you get 4 chances to have a chat to me. You don't have to go on those Zoom calls if you can't or whatever. It's just a Q&A so that we can interact and have a chat about what's going on with those classes. But yeah, the link is down below if you want to book those. Yes. Okay, let's get into some more artifacts though, because I really love some of these artifacts. Hey, Diane, good to see you guys in the chat bar. Right, I'm going to share some more stuff. So there was a couple of things that came up, and I'll just share my understandings. Hang on. We'll pick up. We have, sorry, it's teeny, tiny. We have a couple of things here. Okay, so we'll share this one first. I want to have a quick discussion about, I can leave it there in the chat bar. So I want to have a quick discussion about these parasites. So this person put this on a site and said that this person, these were found at different statues, different parts of the location of Earth. And they're like, see, how come they have a purse and they have a purse? If you look really closely at this purse, it's actually different to this one. This one has like a thin thread here, and it's almost like a woven purse. And I do believe this is where they held this pine cone. The pine cone represented that pineal gland, and they knew that the pattern, it's like a Fibonacci pattern that goes a spiral that's within the pine cone. When they held that up, I was getting this information that would at least give an understanding of where the pineal gland vibrates in that connection to the pine cone, which clears it or opens it to more, like a connection to source energy, to themselves as God self, and so that they could travel down different lines of their soul's path, and integrate into different, or gain wisdom from different perspectives of that soul's path. Something to do with that. I'm just kind of channeling this through as we go. This one, on the other hand, is more of a stone purse. I will give you some more, let's see. So if I pull this one down, and then we will share, share that one. And then I'll bring up another. So we've got 2 of them. I don't know if I can bring them both up, but we'll share this one. Here's one. So this one, see how it's stone, made of stone? It's not a material purse or bag. It's a stone bag. And what this is mirroring, because it's a portal bag. So it was actually created with resonance. And I do believe that they actually banged it onto something and they were holding it. So their hand vibrated at that resonance that the purse was created at, which thread a vibration through their hand, and then it eventually was like a vibration that would meet with them when it met them at the pineal gland. The pineal gland would have that pattern frequency open up, and then they could walk through portals into different dimensions. So the bag was held to go through to different dimensions. It's a different story there, see? So one was just a holding bag, and one was more of a resonance bag. That's why there's a mirroring here of a portal that goes between. I walk from one place into another, is what they're telling me now. I just stopped sharing that one, and then we will share a different one so you can understand even more. I think we've got that one now. I hope that you're seeing a different one here. But any case, and this was more of an alignment of shit, like the mirroring effect was then actually stepping into, like this is an eagle and another eagle here. But there's still a mirroring effect. See how it's something to do with them holding it, banging it on a vibrational thing, or it might be another stone. But whatever it was, it sent us, they show me it sent this vibration through them. And that was the thing that opened up the portal within their own pineal gland so that they could, and each one was kind of, see, they're all very similar shapes, but they were created specifically for the person or the person. Yeah. So that was really interesting what came through at that artifact, just to see from a different angle. What else have we got here? We also have share screen again. Okay, so these guys, this skeleton, sorry, these guys, it's only one. This skeleton is a Tibetan skeleton, and it has many different carvings on it. It also has these written words on it, and they're not actual words. I'm just getting my notes up. So it was a chant, a meditational chant, Om Ma Sa Ma Ta Sa Om Da Ma Ta. And they think that this skull is about 300 years old, but who knows? I actually haven't gone into, I'm just reading it there. I haven't actually channeled through how old it is or anything, but that's what they think. But what I did get from that, when I saw the Om Ma Sa Ma Ta Sa Om Da Ma Ta, they showed me, Pleiadians showed me when they visited me. So then they gave me a download of what happened with why the skull was created. So what happened to me first was I had this incredible, very vivid dream of a Pleiadian man, and he put his forehead on my forehead. We were dancing in the dream, and then he stopped and he just put his forehead on my forehead, and he started to chant. And I know that the first syllable, whatever a chant, was Ra. And that Ra is something to do with the sun, or coming through the sun. So there was a entrance point with that Ra vibration, and then he went into things like Masata. I honestly, I can't remember the rest of them. I don't know. So I'm not saying that it's Om Masa. I'm not saying it's what's written on these skulls. I'm just saying it's similar to, because it was very short, Ra, Ma, La, whatever it was. And that when he vibrated his forehead, when he put his forehead on me, then he chanted Ra, blah, 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 blah. And then he turned his head and then he spoke in his language, which sounded very between Egyptian and Celtic kind of language, which I think was Pleiadian language. Then he come back and he did this chanting again 5 times through me, and I woke up from this dream while he was doing this, and my whole body was vibrating, like vibrating, physically vibrating. And I knew that I had asked him to wake me up at a specific moment, that I had aligned with myself, and that I, in another world, in another lifetime ago, was his teacher, and his responsibility was to become my teacher in this reality where I lost myself, so that he could help me up level my understanding of myself. So there was this switch of teachers. But in any case, what they showed me with this skull was that the Tibetans would chant, and this specific person had entered into, they're telling me the name of it. I wish I was clear enough to get that. Sorry, guys. Mate or something, some other parallel existence, and so when he chanted Om Masa Mata Sa Om Da Mata, and it ended up that he came into this other existence and was a very wise man. So when he decided to move into that existence, he left his body on his own and decided he wasn't going to come back into the physical form of this life in this body. And then his body died. Then the Tibetans took his skull and wrote down the journey that he went on. So this has this journey or understanding of his soul, and so that they could have a kind of map, a resonance with the skull shape as well, to be able to open up a vortex for many others to go through into that other existence to gain wisdom as well, because they knew it was a safe place, because this man was so serene and like his existence was just beautiful. And so they knew that that was a safe place for them to use as an opportunity to merge into this other parallel existence and gain more wisdom. Yeah, so I also got that download as well. So I thought I would add that as well to this chat about Gobekli Tepe and other artifacts. So yeah, I'm thinking that chant, we could use that chant, I suppose, to actually experience this other parallel reality. I have been told that the Tibetans are more linked with the Arcturians, and so their existence, their wisdom, a lot of their wisdom, comes from the Arcturians as well. So that's pretty full on, guys. I think, is there anything? There is a couple of other things, but I think I'll keep them for a specific talk. There's a the spheres, the spheres. They have given me understandings about the spheres many years ago. So, but that's a really huge story there. And it also entangles into the privacy of my, something that I've been holding close to myself. So I don't know. I'm waiting for the right time for me to be ready to share that one. I'm not going to just share it willy-nilly because it's very personal. Any case, is there anything else? There's going to be so many more of these unravelings, and the ones that will be able to unravel them, there will be an understanding when you hit a higher frequency of wisdom. Mistakes are made. Don't get too down on yourself if you channel through something. Always allow it to be flexible, because when you hit that space, that sweet spot of the zone of the actual information, the wisdom that's coming through, others will resonate easily with it as well, because it's already ingrained or entwined within the DNA understanding of the soul's lineage of the other people as well. So then when they hear it, they will get the goosebumps, or they will feel, yes, this feels right, or they will get more wisdom and add to it. And then together we collectively start to piece together the true history of humanity instead of the covered over history that's kept us in this limited small contents of fear, the fear game. So as these things and artifacts are going to be discovered, we're going to have to allow not just the logical, scientifical, point of view from just this perspective of material. We have to expand our consciousness into remembering that we don't have all the answers from this limited space, especially from what we've just gone through, because humanity did lose their connection to their soul and understanding of the wisdom that the soul collectively knew about from the journeys that it has experienced. So when we come back into understanding that there is way more, we have to approach it from a different perspective. It's not just an archaeological dig. Sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted. It's not just a dig and oh yeah, there was a tool there and there wasn't a tool there. Yes, that can play a part in understanding. There is logical understanding, obviously, but it has to go beyond for us to really get the full story of what was going on in those places, in those areas. Why would that be? That would be so. That is so important for humanity to now open themselves up to those new wisdoms and understandings and new ways of gaining wisdom through connecting to their soul's lineage or getting messages from others in higher dimensions. Because then their whole world expands and they also understand their history a lot more. So when you understand your history a lot more, you have a different perspective from this point of view. And it's going to help so many more people to gain back their power of who they truly are, not go into the fear, or release what we've at least been through a lot easier, because they'll realize there's more to the story than what they've been taught. So yeah, if it would be highly advisable, and this is coming straight from the Pleiadians now, highly advisable for archaeological digs, for a channeler or a seer or somebody to be present and get a greater awareness through, because they could get awareness not only through connection, but through the connection to their soul and being able to channel, but through dreams as well. And they could also help them find greater awarenesses and understandings of what these digs are all about. But this is the reason why they're shutting the Gobekli Tepe down and just using it as a tourism, putting all the money into that and not in saying it's all for future generations, because it starts to become uncovered now through the because many humans and star people here on Earth at the moment that are awakening to their understanding that there's way more to the history. When they awaken, then they can go to those sites and they can get more understanding and wisdom coming through. It will be accepted more, is what they're trying to say, because the outside world is falling apart around us, and we're starting to realize we're only going to get to a certain point of understanding, and it's very limited when we only come from our logical brain, because our logical brain only holds copy and pasting of somebody else's understanding. So it's very limited when we go into an archaeological dig and you come from that channeling advice. It expands the world way tenfold more, or our world and understanding tenfold more. Yeah, so they're saying it would be very advisable. Yeah, I have actually been to some places and got really interesting advice even before I ended up there. One of my coolest stories is when I we had booked a trip to Fiji, and we didn't book anything other than just the actual trip, like the flight over there. We didn't know what was going to happen when we got there, but I was woken up as soon as we bought the tickets. I was woken up and I had beside me the severed Fijian head on my pillow. And I honestly didn't get a fear, or I wasn't afraid. There wasn't any sort of yucky moments or anything. It was just like, oh, hi. It was literally like this severed head was just going, hey, you're going to come and visit us. And I'm like, oh, hi, whatever. I'm going to go back to sleep. At that stage, I was used to seeing a lot of different things, a lot of beings coming to me, those that had passed, those from different dimensions. I saw a lot at that stage. I channel now, though, more than seeing. But in any case, we ended up going to Fiji, and we were just walking down the street, thinking that we could walk to the town centre or something, because we were at a resort halfway down the island from the town centre, so it would have been an awful long walk. And this lovely guy, Fijian guy, he's just pulled up and he's like, hey, do you want me to take you, around on, a trip to help you out and stuff? And so he took us to a waterfall, and then he took us to an already tour of a cave so there was a whole heap of people in this tour group, and he asked if we could join the tour group, so that we ended up walking quite a way to these caves, and we had to go through a small tunnel, and we ended up in this huge cave. And then there was this stone, like a flat stone in the middle of the cave, and the guy that was there turned around and said, this is where they used to sacrifice or chop their heads off the Fijians in this cave. And then I went, ding, ding, ding. Of course, that's why I saw the severed head. He's like, you're going to come and visit us. So it's so interesting how these things happen when you're actually connected to outside of the norm of the logical brain, and allowing for things to happen to us through understandings of channeling. Or I was a seer. My mum had the same gift, and so does my girls. But so being that seer, I could actually go further with it. But you can also channel this wisdom through an understanding that you're going to meet somebody as well. Any case, is there anything else I want to chat about or bring up while I'm here? I think we can I'll open the, I usually do, so I'll do a few tarot readings for those that are in the chat bar. It's just my friendly, hey there, you want to have a weekly one-off reading. So I'll open up the chat bar for readings. If anyone's leaving me here, then thank you so much for being part of this. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share if you can. That would be fantastic, just to get my name out there a bit more. I know it's all going to happen at the right timing. I've been told that it's going to happen at the right timing, that I go out like into a bit broader audience. I'm not afraid anymore. I was for a while, which is probably holding me there. But I'm not anymore. So, and don't forget, if you're interested in the master classes, then take a look at those. And yeah, let's open up this chat bar. So we have Sky. I'm also an intuitive counselor. If you do want a one-on-one reading, the link is down below on my website. Yeah, so you can have a Zoom call straight with me then. Okay. Janine, thinking, grateful for the information you bring through. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Janine. So much as well. Okay, Sky. What's happening for Sky this week, please? Also, if you are still here, these messages might be for you as well. Take what resonates for you and leave the rest. So, Sky. So we have the tower that's come out. I'm just going to shuffle right through. So we have the tower, or we have a brand new beginning coming up here. This is going to be an emotional beginning, like something that's more in tune with you feeling your emotional side, something, but it's like a tower moment or a decision. Now, because it's come out with the Ace of Cups, I'm feeling like this tower moment is more of it, for some reason, the same decision, or alignment. It's not to say that something's going to happen straight off, boom, crash, all that. It's more of a, okay, I know where I'm going now, and this is what I'm going to put more of my focus into. So there's something more that you're coming into to put more of your focus into, and you might be given a helping hand here as well through this. So I feel like it's a tell within your own psyche of, oh my God, I get it now. Right. Something like that's going to happen this week for you. Yeah, it's the Ace of Cups is a brilliant cup to follow a tower moment anyway. So awesome. Okay, who else have we got here? Janine, Janine, Jenny, Jenny. Sorry. Okay. Janine. Be aware, don't, oh, okay. Like I'm holding the cards tighter with you, so there might be some tension, or you're holding on to something too tight, or there was a feeling of control, trying to control something or trying to control yourself. And let's see what card fell out. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So it is a good thing. Maybe that control is something that you do need to have within your own psyche and your own mind, your own understanding of your emotions and your feelings and everything, for you to ground something, for you to become more abundant. Maybe it's just to do with monetary involvement, so that you can allow that money to be showing up in your real world. And so you maybe work this week on how you are seeing abundance within yourself. How do you see yourself as the Queen of Abundance? I know it goes in and out with this sort of thing until we really get the hang of it, but there is an opportunity here for you to ground more awareness that you don't have to worry about your future, that there's something coming up that's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. I do get a lot of that. You're going to be okay. That does come up a lot in readings and stuff. Sorry, I was just getting this information then, and I'm like, where's that going with the okay thing? They don't want us to see it as this. They don't want us to see this game as too serious. And when they say it's going to be okay, it's like, like play with it, enjoy your life a bit more. Don't get so serious. It's the feeling of getting serious that keeps us bound as well. Okay, who else have we got here? Debbie. Oh, one, you know what? I'm going to take it. One just flew out then. I'm going to just take those. It's like all these cards wanting to fly out for you. And we have ones that are upside down. We have, boy, how we. These are all upside down, but you're going through a transformation at the moment. This is the Death card. Great cards, these are holographic, but the problem is it's so glary that you can't really see the pictures, right? The Death card, and it's interesting to note they're showing me that this horse is standing over a dead body, but this horse represents our ascension journey, our spiritual journey. He's white. And so it's like the journey going towards that side of things, and where the body's being left is more of that physical world, allowing for newness to come in, because you also got the Temperance, which is depicted here as an angel, and blowing horns as well. So judgment's really coming in here. And the World card, which is actually a favorable, the Wheel card, which is actually a favorable card, the Wheel of Fortune. But both of these were actually in reverse when I came out. I know I turned that one up the other way when I pulled it out, but I feel like there's fortune coming through balance, and you're gonna know Seven Pentacles came in reverse too. You will find what you're looking for in the end when you find this balance. But sometimes we have to go through a bit of a death or letting go of something first. So this week might be in that letting go, and that's going to open you up to new possibilities coming in. This week, you are going to just you're going to decide or understand a lot more. It's very similar to Sky's message, but just a little bit different in the fact that your death is more maybe something that you don't just, you're going to decide once you come out of the other side of the death. So that might happen where oh my God, I really do have to let go of that. And then on the other side, you're like, oh, I get it now. Clarity comes more. There's going to be more clarity, but they were in reverse. So this has to happen first for these to come upright. It's like a distant tunnel light at the end of the tunnel. These ones, which are, balance, Wheel of Fortune, and knowing where you're going. For some reason I'm showing this as knowing where you're going. Yeah. So it could be a little confusing this week for you, but I think that the main focus they want you to focus on is, what do you need to let go? What do you need to let go? Janine, well, thank you, sister. I had just received a message to step down to seriousness and plan for more joy. I love it when it's confirmation, right? It's literally why if I watch a reading, it's to do with confirmation for myself as well. Because we all do kind of know, but then we're like, our logical brain is like, yeah, but I need something else outside of me just to give me a sign. Yeah, it was interesting too, just talking about signs. When I pulled through that Gobekli Tepe channeling, I was like, whoa, this is full on stuff. I know I've been told some of this in the past, but this is getting full on. Well, and then my logical brain was going, can I trust this? And so it asked, or I asked for a sign, and you wouldn't believe what happened. I actually took a photo. I'll see if I can pull it up. So I was driving around and I was doing a delivery job, and I delivered, let me see, I won't show. I'll see if I can pull this up so that I can zoom in. I ended up delivering right behind a car. As soon as I was going, I need a sign to know that I'm getting a download here, and this is the truth. The sign was the car that I parked behind was my actual initials, BR, Bobby Richardson, which I see all over the show lately, and 22, which is an etheric message coming through, and it's a Tesla car. So that's like the, something new coming through. And Tesla, was an old person from way back then who invented he knew a lot more wisdom. So interesting that I ended up straight up after I asked for a sign, pulling up into a drive, and here's this car in front of me with that. I'm like, okay, this is for real. I've got to trust this channeling. So I love it how that happens. Okay, so who else have we got here? Diane. Diane, we have 3 that's fallen out. I'm going to definitely take in the first one. I'm not going to take the other 2 because I just feel like it's the first one for you. It's the moon in reverse, so something's been uncovered here. It's interesting, like things have been uncovered this week. Things have been let go of, uncovered, discovered. This week is about discovering. Oh, they said, yeah, because of the solstice, right? And on Thursday, I'm going to do a solstice reading. not only that, it is my beautiful daughter's birthday. She was born on the solstice. So yeah, she's over in she's over in Italy at the moment. And she's having her 21st. So yeah, there's something here. I will pull one more card because there's a couple more cards that came out, but I didn't feel like. But there's something to be unhidden for you. Look, there's two towers. I didn't even realize that. Two towers in the background here. Literally representing the two hemispheres of your mind. But they're showing me 9/11 and the breaking down of the two towers. 9 means connection to humanity, but also endings. 11 is new manifestations and where you can go from here. Let's see what else comes up for you, though. We also have the wands, the 3 of wands. He's standing here holding the world in his hand. There's more power coming to you. So I'm feeling, oh, it's the 2 of wands, sorry. There's more power. Why did I say the 3 of wands? Anyway, it doesn't matter. There's more power. Maybe that means something to you. There's more power coming to you for some reason. A choice. He's turning his back on one thing, not giving it as much attention as what he used to, and then putting his more intention into this thing here, holding the world in his hand. So he has an understanding that he has the world within himself, and that he can create his illusion can be dropped, where he is the creator of whatever he focuses in on, ends up becoming bigger than Ben-Hur outside of him. So there's something to do with that, and you coming into your power this week. Hey, Linda, no worries coming in late. Let's see who else wants a reading here. Horse Haven. Yeah, I thought it was Joe. Just wanted to make sure that it was you, Joe. Because yeah, hello, Horse Haven. Well, you had the Wheel of Fortune drop out straight up as soon as I was talking about you. So this week, we also have the 6 of Pentacles, but it's in reverse. So you might need to find balance within yourself this week of receiving and giving, receiving and giving. Just come back to self and just go, what, instead of going into the head of, oh my God, what do I do? Go back into oneself and go, right, from this point of view, I'm just me. Now, what do I feel like doing? Now, when you come from, I'm just me, that I am, and how I feel is what's needed, necessary at this moment. Do I feel like sharing? Do I feel like receiving? Do I allow myself to be open to receiving more? What do I need to find my balance? Like, I literally see you coming back into self just to ask the question, what do I need to find my balance? And then go from there, and also say to self that you can change whenever you feel that's not feeling comfortable anymore. I feel a little bit tense. I feel like, okay, well, we'll come back into balance. And it's like a teaching game, like a learning of how to come back into balance to step into your next role, which is going to create a bit more, because there's something coming for you. A hand of God bringing, an emotional stability, or emotional feeling good about oneself. It's like it's been floating around in the etheric, but when maybe you're not receiving, allowing yourself to receive enough, and then you're like, well, show me what I'm supposed to be receiving. And they're like, yeah, well, it's right there. But when you ask like that, sorry, when you push like that, then resistance, the receiving becomes resistance. Okay, who else have we got here? Justin. Okay, Justin. We have the Knave of Pentacles coming out for you, which is like, boy, a message, a grounded message leading you more to physical abundance. There's a three of chalice in reverse. So communication might be needed around with other people. Communication to when you come into your power and you communicate, you come from love. When you communicate, then you are going to be holding up your chalice and going, oh, I feel really good about that and how I did that. And then there is an offering being offered here, though. I feel it's a message of some kind to ground something. Yeah, an offering. I see an offering, even the night. This is slow going, and it feels like it's slow going. And there's also the Nine of Swords where this was in reverse though. So you might be letting go of the nightmarish thoughts that you might have had. Learning to let go of the nightmarish thoughts in order to receive something that you're actually desiring. Yeah, see, it's pretty nightmarish. Yeah. Okay, Candace. Candace. Candace, we have that jumped out for you as the Empress. So that's brilliant. Self-nurturing this week. Nurture self. Just focus in on what you need, because what you need, others will benefit from. So when you're feeling a lot more relaxed and self-nurtured, others are going to feel that respect of you respecting yourself, and then they will respect who they are as well, and they'll come at you differently. They will move around you differently. Or they oh my, I am seeing kids for some reason, I suppose because there's kids in this, will reflect differently, where they'll find their own self-respect of self-nurturing themselves by seeing you self-nurture yourself. Okay, guys, I think I will leave it there until Thursday, and we will do an awesome solstice reading on my daughter's beautiful birthday. Well, I gave birth to her 21 years ago, and she has saved up all of her money and manifested. It was so interesting because she was looking for a job. She didn't have a job. And then I reminded her that she was an amazing manifester, because when she was little, she could write down a list and then hide it. And then everything in that list come true, even to the point of I took her to SeaWorld and Dream World, and I didn't have much like finances at that time, but for some reason my heart just wanted to do that. And she had it written down on her list, and have a kitten, and we ended up with a new kitten and all sorts of stuff. Everything came true. And she even like manifested, she saw a sign with echidna on it, and we'd never seen an echidna anywhere, even though they are in Australia. And then she said, I'm going to see one today. And I was just about to think in my head, yeah, right. No, I'm not blocking this. I'm not blocking this. Because if you do share it with someone and they block it, then they can actually block that that manifestation. That's why they say hold your manifesting close to yourself without sharing. I tend to blurt things out, which does stump me. I'm shocking at blurting things out as well. But she said, I'm going to manifest in the echidna. We ended up going to a friend's birthday party, and it was kind of like the girls decided to do a meditational circle next to a window, like a glass window. That was me and the ladies, and the kids were all playing in their parties and the party and that sort of stuff. So they were all outside, and right next to me, this echidna walks up, and I'd never even seen one before. So I had to say, I'm stopping the circle. I'm running out. I have to get my daughter. She said she was going to manifest one of these today. So I have to go show her. And she did. So long story short, she ended up forgetting about all that. You know, we get sucked into them. You know, she went to university and got sucked into all of the schooling, and everything has to be logical based. And then when she was looking for a job, she couldn't find one. And I reminded her of this. And she ended up within a week finding herself a job. And then she ended up within a year, paying off all of that university fee because she didn't want to do that anymore, and buying herself a car and buying herself a trip. And she ended up, she's over there now, over in Italy, over the other side of the world. So hello, guys. We are more powerful than what we think. Anyway, that aside, love yous all. I'll see you on Thursday. Bye.